It's funny, before I ever had a miscarriage, I didn't really ever think about this, and didn't think about when my friends used to talk about that they'd had a miscarriage. It felt really like, oh yes, so it just didn't work. Now, being in the situation where I have had one and women aren't talking about it, I really feel like it's got to do with feeling like you've failed in some way, that you couldn't quite do it, maybe something's wrong with you. For me, I think personally that's why I wouldn't go telling people.
It's something that I've thought about quite a lot, why society has trouble discussing this really important issue. I think there's a lot to be said for the fact that couples and women don't talk about the fact that they're pregnant in the early stages. So then turning around and trying to explain that they've lost a pregnancy that they may not even have announced is obviously just something that's not going to happen.
Because it's disenfranchised. Nobody wants to talk about dead babies or infertility, and it's really uncomfortable place for people, and it's unbelievable how many people I speak to who have had miscarriages, and the one thing that everybody turns around and says is, I never knew. I did not know that it could have an impact like this on people. I wish I did. And I often find that people have regrets about the way they speak or didn't speak to people who were having miscarriages.
You go.
Sorry.
Sorry. I don't know. I think it's just I think it's society, our reaction to grief. I feel like we just don't cope with grief very well.
We innately as women have this idea that we should bear children, and there should be no complications, and it should look like those lovely Huggies ads. You know, there's like a lovely bump, and you go to have the baby and there's no the baby just comes out. There's this idea, and if you can't provide that idea, you innately blame yourself, and that just perpetuates this cycle of failure. And I think women struggle to talk about it